What's good, peoples? It's your boy Blaze here for Venomous Reactions, and welcome to the first chapter of Autism Chronicles. Yes, indeed. And this is something I wanted to do for Autism Awareness Month, and just chronicleize like myself dealing with autism, and just to give encouragement to those that's dealing with autism, and to say that it's not impossible to overcome and live with autism. So, for this one, I'm going to be focusing on mostly just finding out about autism, living with autism, and just pretty much just coping with the difficulties that come with it. Now, for those that don't know or is unfamiliar with my story, and yes, I am a high functioning autistic, and I've been this way ever since I was 4 years old. And to say it's been an uphill battle just living with autism and overcoming hurdles while doing so, it will be an understatement, because it's been a lot of challenges that's been sent my way. And honestly, I really didn't know anything about it at a young age, but as I grew older, learning about it, like both the good and the bad about the autism, I guess you could say the autistic spectrum, it it made me like pretty much just appreciate everything that's good about it and what's good about myself, because because even as a kid I really had like real low self-esteem, and that really did damage to like my positivity. And it got worse when it came to like middle and high school. Like I really didn't want to like know anybody. And I just stayed stuck to myself, basically. But more on that in later chapters. But I say the most difficult thing I ever had to deal with was pretty much learning and absorbing what was being taught to me, and pretty much behavior and thought formulation. Now, for for learning, it was difficult for me as a child, because I would normally see things in like a jumbled state. Like I would basically read something, and I would read things like out of order. But due to like good help and a good support system, I was able to overcome that with the greatest of ease, and I still have some difficulty with that today, but not as much as when I was a kid. And even with thought formation, sometimes I could get a little bit ahead of my thoughts, and or or even in some cases I would get stuck in my thoughts to where I would lose my place. I mean, even with doing reactions, I found myself getting stuck to where I would try to get like those final words out, but I just can't get it off the tip of my tongue. And sometimes it can be frustrating. It can be definitely frustrating, to where I would just be like, you know what, screw this. But I found myself like coming out of my shell. When I come out of my shell more and more, you know, the struggles with thought formation really doesn't seem that apparent anymore. And as far as behavior wise is concerned, sometimes I would have like erratic behavior, like behavior that would make people think like something was wrong with me, and honestly, that just it did something to like the mental psyche, and and I would say mostly I would get bullied or teased about it. But like I said, I will cover that more in the later chapters. But it it really did it really did make me like withdraw more and just not be, well, I guess you say, be antisocial to an extent. And it was a lot. It was a lot for me, as far as like how would I behave in like different surroundings or different settings or different atmospheres. Like I really had the struggles to adapt, and it was just like, people would think I would be like extremely weird, or or this dude is like emo or something like that. It but I will say that I will say that as I got older, like the you know my behavior my behavior in different atmospheres and different surroundings and different types of people, it it kind of fell to the wayside. Same thing with thought formulation. Like, it's not as prominent as I was when I was a kid, but you still got your bits and pieces there. And you know, as far as like with speech and being social with people, the difference between those two when I was a kid and now, you know, once I'm comfortable with certain people, I I've grown to appreciate being myself. Regardless of what people may think. People may think I'm weird just or just I don't want to say that word, but some people may think I was retarded. And I, you know, that that word right there just made me boil, because I've heard that all of my life. And for people to say that and not understand what that does to a person, that's when I learned right then and there. Like, the world is a, the world could be a good, the world could be a cold, cold place. But it didn't stop me from being myself. So uh, it's deep. It's pretty much deep for me. So bear with me. But learn, uh, as far as learning about the spectrum, like I've always had people tell me that, having autism is never a bad thing, and I've grown accustomed to believing that, because not only do I see things a little bit differently from other people, or I may not comprehend it fully, or if or if I have like moments where I get stuck in my thoughts, and I'm trying to like formulate the thoughts the to the best of my abilities. It's it's a challenge. It really is a challenge, but it's not impossible. So so with that, I will say that if you have if you find out you are a part of the spectrum, I mean, you have a wonderful gift. And don't let other people tell you otherwise because they don't understand what it's like living with autism, or they can't fully comprehend the spectrum. So if people don't understand, it's your job to show them like what lies behind the spectrum, regardless of what regardless of what the negative holds. Because there is some good that comes along with it. And from my experience, autistic people are the most gifted people in the world. And I'm living proof. Like I love doing like graphic work on the computer or tinkering around in FL Studio making beats or just simply writing. And I made it my mission to like share my gifts with the world, regardless of what people may say about it. Because I want to be a part of the people that can inspire and uplift somebody who's going through like either the absolute same struggles as I have and is still going through to this day, or people that's like similar with different types of mental illness. and and for me, I will not rest until that mission is complete. And I'm I'm sorry for being long-winded, but it's it's a lot for me to get out of my system for this first chapter. and and I'm gonna try my best not to be as long-winded for chapter 2, which is covering being bullied. So with that in mind, thank you all for tuning in to this first chapter of Autism Chronicles, courtesy of your boy. And as always, don't forget to tell your peoples across the globe, come kick it with your boy one good time. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to hit me up on social media right over yonder. Now, this your boy Blaze saying Chuck the Deuce. And I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.